Cameras flash. Stadium lights burn white over the Bronx. Two of the most talked about names in pop culture settle into their seats, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. He's in a Yankees bomber with a fresh buzz cut. She's low-key but calculated, wearing an outfit that nods to his next movie. The game ends, the photos explode across your feed, and the question fires up again. Are we watching a genuine love story or a masterclass in celebrity PR? Tonight, we dive beyond the headlines. We'll break down the sighting at the Yankees game, connect it to their public timeline, analyze body language, look at career timing and brand strategy, and test both theories, real relationship or strategic arrangement, against the rules of modern fame. No fluff, no gossip for the sake of gossip, just the patterns that matter. The moment everyone's talking about, the setting is New York, the kind of place where celebrity love stories and media narratives are born by the hour. Kylie and Timothée are clearly not hiding. They're not ducking under hats or bolting for private entrances. They're sitting where every lens can find them. There's a reason stadium dates become pop culture events. They feel casual, real, almost unstageable. You can't control every angle in a ballpark. If you let yourself be seen there, you're accepting the conversation that follows. But even casual moments can be curated. Wardrobe doesn't lie. He shows home team energy. She wears a piece that winks at his upcoming project. It's soft branding disguised as date night comfort. That doesn't make it fake. It makes it smart. Yet the optics, local pride for him, subtle support for his film from her, are exactly the type of details publicists dream of. So which is it? Authentic support between two people who are really together, or strategic symbolism designed to fuel the next news cycle? Put a pin in that. We'll come back. A timeline that refuses to judge what's real, you need a timeline. This romance didn't appear out of nowhere. The spark started flying in 2023, first as whispers, then as PDA at a massive stadium concert, then as sightings at major sporting events and award shows. Moments that say, we're not hiding, but we're not doing magazine covers every week either. Over time, we see the rhythm surface, vanish, resurface. It's a pulse, stadium kiss, tennis stands, awards night, occasional red carpet proximity, then quiet stretches while he films. She runs her empire, and the family narrative occupies a good share of her public life. Finally, a New York sports appearance. Again, in other words, a pattern of deliberate scarcity interrupted by high-impact public sightings. This is the classic slow burn strategy. If a couple is fake, overexposure is easy. You force moments until the audience gets exhausted. But a carefully paced series of appearances over years, that's either the mark of a very disciplined PR machine or the natural ebb and flow of two very busy people who like each other and aren't trying to feed the machine every single day. Body language, micro signals, and the unfakeable stuff. Let's get something straight. Body language inside a stadium is not a lie detector. People sit, stand, laugh, or check their phone for a million reasons, and cameras catch fractions of seconds. Still, patterns across many appearances tell you something. When this couple appears, their micro signals tend to land in two categories. First, the comfortable lean, in torsos angled toward each other, heads tilted slightly inward, faces relaxed, shoulders soft. That's not pose and go. That's how people sit when they're at ease. Second, the protective bubble, the shared posture of 2A. List figures in public, where gestures shrink and conversation tucks in tight. That's a privacy instinct, not a performance. Are there staged looks? Of course. Every famous couple masters the neutral, "we're just here" expression. But you'll also catch the unphotogenic moments, mid-sentence faces, hand fidgets, inside jokes. Those frames are the ones PR teams wish didn't travel, yet they do. And they suggest the comfort of real companionship. Could elite actors fake this? Definitely. But faking it repeatedly over environments, that's harder than people think. The career math, who benefits, when, and how. If you want to sniff out PR, ask who benefits most and at what point. Let's do the calculus. For him, visibility is both his superpower and his risk. He's a prestige-friendly actor who lives in the rare space between indie credibility and blockbuster charisma. His biggest vulnerability is overexposure as a persona rather than as a performer. Public romance can humanize, but it can also overshadow craft. The Yankees sighting slots into a version of him that feels grounded, everyday New York adjacent. It reads his lifestyle, not thirst. For her, she owns a multi-platform empire, beauty, fashion, branded content, and almost mythic family franchise. The risk isn't visibility, it's narrative drift. Whenever there's a lull, the internet tries to write the next chapter for her. But when she's seen in settings that aren't fashion week or family events, when she's supporting a partner's artistic project, when she's present in New York rather than only Los Angeles, she broadens the brand. It says mogul, mother, partner, patron of the arts. The Yankees frame gives her a version of casual East Coast cool that plays differently than luxury, only optics. The shared win they cross-pollinate audiences. His filmgoers brush up against her beauty and fashion world. Her followers make contact with his cinephile base. When done sparingly, that's synergy without saturation. If it's a PR arrangement, it's exquisitely paced. If it's real, it's two people with unusual lives who understand how to keep their private thing functional inside a public machine. The PR couple test. 4 questions that cut through noise. The one, is the timing suspicious? If every appearance aligns perfectly with a campaign window, suspicion rises. Here, you do see promotional gravity around his projects and her brand cycles, but not every sighting maps neatly onto a release date. There are long stretches of silence. Genuine relationships survive those silent stretches. Manufactured ones usually fill the gaps with forced content, or they vanish abruptly when the deal ends. 2. Are the visuals overly branded? Matching looks, on-theme colors, subtle winks to a movie or a line. Yes, you see some of that. Smart couples do this without thinking. But at the Yankees game, the style reads coordinated, not costume designed. It's polished, not performative. In celebrity math, that's a green flag. 3 are there contradictions in off-camera behavior. Real couples have messy edges, conflicting schedules, separate friend groups, trips that don't intersect, quiet weeks where they're simply not together. Contradictions in a PR relationship often show up as hyper visibility followed by silence once the cameras move on. Here, the pattern looks consistent: private periods while he films abroad, quick reunions in New York or Los Angeles, and rare high-impact public dates. That's a relationship pattern, celebrity edition. 4, do they need the relationship to stay relevant? Neither of them does. He sells tickets. She sells out product lines and commands culture with or without a partner. A PR-only couple tends to be oxygen for careers on life support. This is not the case for it's real. The simplest explanation often wins. They met, they clicked, and they learned to be public carefully. The way they sit together doesn't scream performance, it suggests ease. The cadence of appearances lines up with real-world schedules, film shoots, premieres, family responsibilities, business drops. The risk-reward equation isn't one-sided, both gain in soft ways, but both also accept downsides: scrutiny over analysis, the internet's endless appetite. There's also a logic to how they support each other's work without drowning in it. She shows up in ways that say, I see your world, and he shows up in ways that say, I get your city, your pace, your reality. That's what real couples do. They translate for each other. And when they choose a moment to be seen, it's usually a moment that matters to one of them. A premiere week, a hometown game, a rare gap between obligations. Authenticity can be strategic. Those two things aren't enemies. The case for it's PR. Let's steal, man the other side. The Yankees sighting arrives with immaculate optics. His new look, her nod to his film, a high visibility setting, instant media pickup. That's PR perfection. It follows a familiar playbook: keep mystery simmering, then pop out in public with a detail that drives conversation. The pairing itself, beauty mogul plus art, house star turned blockbuster lead, blends demographics in ways marketers drool over. Even the quiet stretches can be read as controlled scarcity, which makes every new outing feel like an event. If you wanted to write the plan on a whiteboard, it might look like this: launch the pairing during a pop culture moment validated at sports and award shows, go dormant to avoid fatigue, then resurface at a quintessentially New York scene where he looks like he belongs and she looks like she chose to be there. Add a wardrobe Easter egg that aligns with a film rollout, and you've got a narrative that writes itself. This interpretation isn't crazy, it's just incomplete, because good PR can ride on top of something that exists. The fact that something looks smart doesn't mean it isn't real. The verdict you were waiting for. Here's the truth from everything we've watched over time. The pattern looks like a real relationship operating with professional discipline. They don't feed the press every day, they feed it when it makes sense. They keep the private parts private. They add texture to each other's brands without merging them into a joint venture. None of this proves anything beyond doubt, but it fits the profile of two people protecting something that matters in a world that monetizes oversharing. Could it be a perfectly executed arrangement? Sure. But if it were only that, you'd expect more staged content, faster cycles, and a cleaner alignment with release dates. Instead, you see lulls, you see irregularity, you see moments that feel off script and human. So the next time a stadium camera finds them and the comment section erupts, remember, authenticity and optics aren't enemies. In the lives they lead, they're survival tools. This looks less like a campaign and more like a couple that knows exactly when to let the lights in. What do you think? Epic PR or quietly real? Drop your take in the comments and tell me which moment convinced you: the concert kiss, the courtside whispers, the awards night chemistry, or this Yankees sighting. If you love smart breakdowns that cut through celebrity noise and get to the patterns underneath, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and share this with a friend who has strong opinions about Hollywood love stories. See you in the next deep dive.